What's up, y'all? It is Mary
and Amma.
And today we are going to be talking about Tony's point of view. He was talking about what he feels the parents should have done when it came to Flagstaff. And he believes they should have never, ever moved to Flagstaff or even bought the land.
Yeah.
I think McKellar said that the parents would have preferred if they didn't move to Flagstaff. I think that's what she said.
Yeah. I mean, she was saying that someone asked Michael, and we will do the blessings of this whole show
on
the other video. But right now, let us do the stuff that she thinks that the parents would have preferred. She feels as though the parent would have preferred that they did the show for 10 years. The first 10 years was great, but she said these last 5 to 7 years, which has been pretty much, they've been in Flagstaff for 7 years. So she feels as though they would rather have done without the last 5 to 7 years. But for those first 10 years, those were blessings, and we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But Tony thinks that they never should have bought that land at all. And he did say that Janelle's name is on that land. So Cody going around thinking that, hey, I don't need to tell Janelle nothing because it goes down some gossip mill. None of that matters because legally
he can't do that.
You got to tell Janelle, and legally you said that one of our subscribers said that
you can't just you can't even sell the land without her signature. So I was so happy you said that because I was so worried, child. Like,
we were worried. We did ask you guys, and thank you for responding. What legal recourse does Janelle have to all of this? Does she even have any legal foot to stand on?
Right.
So very happy to hear that he can't do anything with that land. Now, Janelle does want part of the home. She wants she's not even asking for all of the money that she put in Robin's home, but she did say that she wants part of what she put in that home.
Yeah.
Because Janelle put money towards Robin's home.
They all did. That's why it behooved me that Robin would say something so stupid. How do you figure we owe you something? Because you wouldn't have your home if she didn't put money in it.
Right. And Janelle does not have her own home. And
homeless in a trailer with 2 sick dogs. That was her life.
Mary was able to have her own home. I think Mary bought a home there.
Yep.
So she was able to have her own home. Christine right away got her own home.
Because she knew we were going to be here for a while.
No, Christine knew.
She peeped game from a mile away.
She saw how Cody be moving and
unreliable and irresponsible.
The other thing that they mentioned, Tony and Mike Kelty, they were saying, which actually made sense. And I was like, why didn't I think of that earlier? But he was saying that the way they even did the land was so messy. And it was kind of like he was kind of insinuating that it maybe was on purpose on Cody's side, because he was like, what they should have done is divide the land and have each person's name on the part. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, instead of Cody's name being on every single plot, like this is for Cody and Janelle, Cody and Christine, Cody and Mary, Cody and Robin. Why don't you just have Cody and then, Mary, Janelle, Christine, Robin?
He didn't want them to have a single asset by themselves.
And so that's what Tony was kind of like asking. But Mike Kelty, for her daddy, she was, Mike Kelty was like,
no.
Well, the reason why he did that is because he never really has a place for himself. And so that's why he wanted to kind of put his name on everything so that, he has a piece of everything. Did you not just hear what Tony is saying? He's saying that Cody, Janelle, everyone has their own plot. As opposed to Cody beat on every little plot. But
I do believe McKelty still has
a-
those rose-colored glasses on when it comes to
Yeah.
her, like, Daddy.
And then Tony was just quiet.
I know
because
Tony
I think
just-
Tony has learned, like, before he used to always kind of like go back and forth with her, and we didn't like that.
Yeah, he used to go back and
like,
forth.
this is not even your family, Tony. Stay out of it. So now I think he has learned.
Yeah,
like,
he's definitely learned. 'Cause I remember there was one
I
time
won't
that
say much.
I think it was like last year or whatever. He was wearing that gray shirt, and I think that she was trying to defend Cody or Robin, and he was like, "That's what you think, but that really ain't what it is." And we're like, "Well, damn, who asked you, sir? Ain't you the husband?"
We were on Tony like white or rice to the point that we were even talking about his chair, how he has the most comfortable chair.
I know.
And then he switched the chair, gave it to Kelty. And then the next thing you know, he got a new chair. We're like, well, wait a minute, your chair now look more comfortable than.
But Tony has grown on me because I feel like for me, I love them as a couple. Because to me, it's like they have had these 3 babies. They have a good life together.
Yeah.
And for me, I just want the kids to be happy. They've gone through so much. They're still going through a lot with their dad.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy that McKelty has somebody that she can seek comfort and sovereignty with.
Yeah.
And it does seem like Tony has kind of calmed down. He's not like so much in it, like where like he letting his opinion be known.
Yeah.
Like it seems like, okay, you say your piece, I say my piece, but I ain't gonna fight you on it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at you with my corner eye, but I ain't gonna say nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think children will do that to you. And also these YouTube streets will do that to you. This YouTube street will check you.
Very vicious. Me, I could not be a celebrity. Like me personally, if I make it, God willing, I could not be a celebrity. Somebody talking about me all the time and then turning nothing into something. That would be horrible.
Yeah, I think I'll be very
I'll be like Beyonce. I would never read the comments, and I'll never be online. I will literally be like Beyonce because me, I love my peace, and me, I'm a Cancer, so I'm very sensitive.
Yeah, you're emotional.
And I'm emotional, and I am sometimes quick to tears. I'm not as bad as I was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But I do get a little sensitive. But sometimes I see comments or whatever on our channel and stuff like that, and I'm just like, okay, girl, bye. But like, I don't really like get like upset
or
like that. Or
boy, bye, because it could be. I mean.
Yeah, I mean the last 2 recent ones, I mean it really didn't bother me or whatever the case may be. I said what I had to say and I moved on. But I don't really get affected by it like that. Yeah. But yeah, YouTube will humble you, that's for sure. But I am happy to see them and their 3 babies and stuff like that. I thought it was hilarious that Mikkel was like, I'm not gonna have no more kids. Like I don't ever want to be pregnant again. Well, she was recalling about the twin pregnancy.
But you know what's funny? She actually did turn to Tony one year and she's like, do you want to have a 4th baby? And he's like, that's a hard no.
Well, because you had 3 under 3. Like, that is insane. But I mean, at least you get them all done out of the way. Because me, I think I would like to have all my kids early and then I just tie my tubes and be done.
You know what? I'm going to tell you, you know what happens when you have the first one? And then it's so wonderful. Then the next thing you know, before you can even open your eyes, the second one comes. You always wonder, how did that one come? Because you usually are not planning for that second one, and that second one just appears. It's like, what happened? How did this happen?
And
okay, so the second one happens, and then you're so excited, you're still happy, right? And the next thing you know, the third one is here. Yeah, by the time that first one is like 2-3 years old, if you have not had those other ones back to back, yeah, you're kind of over it. I think after that.
I think sometimes it's good to have them all at once, but I mean, I only feel like you should have them back to back if you have help. I think like if you don't have help and you don't have like a huge amount of income, it is best to just space it out. So at least when that older one, yes, it's the older child syndrome or whatever, but that older child can help you with your other child. You know what I'm saying? But if you have money, me personally, I would definitely have all my kids back to back and then just call it a day. Well, maybe not the first one because I'm worried about postpartum. I'll probably wait like a year or 2 and then have the rest. And then just like, I'm wrapping it up.
Yeah,
we're done,
postpartum is a real thing. You just always need to have a big support system.
Definitely have like a doula who takes care.
It's a real thing. Postpartum is a real thing. And I think it affects every single woman. It just, some have it more than others, but I really think postpartum happens to every single woman because you think of all those hormones that's in your system, all of a sudden they're not there as much. I mean, it's a real thing.
You know what I would even suggest?
It just has different levels of when some it's more severe than others.
I would even maybe suggest, because I just thought about this, but I feel like, a lot of times with postpartum, it seems like women have a lot of issues with their bodies. I feel like before you get pregnant, one thing you should do is take plenty of pictures of yourself. Like take pictures of yourself dressed up, take pictures of yourself fully naked, and then measure every single crevice of your body. Like get all of those measurements, take those pictures, journal how you're feeling, journal your emotions and all that stuff, and then also have a gratitude journal. And then when you're after you've had a baby, go back and read these things, look back at these pictures, make like a scrapbook, because sometimes we have body dysmorphia. If you've worked really hard to get your body back and you're like, oh my god, these were my measurements, I have actually gotten back to these measurements or whatever the case may be, or you're like looking at your weight, even if you haven't gotten all the way back there, if you're at least closer to that, that will help you with your mental stuff. I feel like journaling and having documentation of how you were before and then getting back to that space, and then keep up that practice throughout your pregnancy. Always have this mindset of gratitude, because I feel like depression comes from a lack of gratitude, but also comes from a lack of, you know, awareness of what's going on and stuff like that. And sometimes when you get so deep into your depression, you don't try to lift your head up and look outside and be like, well, what's good, what's something good around me that I can be grateful for. That lack of clarity. So I feel like maybe journaling and documentation can really help women with that, because I even look at Lauren from 90 Day Fiance. She has like this body dysmorphia, but to me she looks even better than what she did when she had the children. And I feel like if she had that documentation or you know, that journaling, maybe she could be like,
something, I am back to with the measurements that I was, or I'm not that far off,
or this is my mental state, this is where I was. Maybe do recordings, have a scrapbook before you get pregnant, and then take all those measurements, like measure like even measure like how low or how high your breasts were, like just measure like your arms, all that.
So, well, maybe it's not sagging as much as I thought.
Exactly.
You know, someone said to me a long time ago, but she was like, she was older than me, but she was like, as long as her, you know, areolas or her nipples are pointing forward,
she's okay.
She's okay. It doesn't matter. She wouldn't think that like they're saggy as long as they're pointing forward. I was like, oh, okay, that's a good way of looking at it. You know,
I have even also come to find that women who take care of themselves, like women who still work out, who eat healthy, like they were doing everything they were doing before they got pregnant, I found that they seem to be less depressed as well. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's also very important what you do. Like,
it's just taking time for yourself.
You have to always do that, even when the baby comes.
Away from the baby. Now, I don't agree with this whole new culture that we're doing about baby moons and all that stuff, because I feel as though you should be over the moon when the baby comes.
I'm sorry, I will definitely.
Why you gotta take a baby moon when the baby arrives?
You know why?
It makes no sense.
No, let me make it make sense for you.
It's dumb.
Oh!
I'm just gonna be real clear. It is dumb.
No, let me tell you why it's not dumb.
It's such a weird culture. The baby has come. You should be ecstatic.
No, a baby moon is before the baby comes.
Like, even before the baby comes. Right before the baby comes, you should be like a bird. You should be preparing your nest. You should be excited about that. Like there is this like exhilaration, like 2 months before that baby's coming. Even though you're so like you're hurting and all that stuff, but there's this thing, like this anticipation that the baby's coming. That's all the moon that you need. You should be feeling over the moon that the baby comes. And when the baby come, you don't need to take, listen, we went to visit a lady.
I do not agree with these comments at all.
Her grandchild. The parents had just come and dropped the baby off. That baby was not even 1 week old. And they were gone for a week to 2 week vacation and left the baby with the man's mother. And I was just like, what the hell is this? Like, so this whole new culture of, and listen, you could put the gender reveal right into that pile of foolishness with the whole baby moon stick. That's just where I am. But anywho,
I'm going to explain why the gender reveal is not dumb. And I'm also going to explain why the baby moon not dumb. Now, for me personally, I am all for a baby moon. You know why? Because this is the only time that you are going to have which is not the only time, but like this
It's
is just,
not.
it's a little window before you actually have a live human being with you for the rest of your life. Like you are literally become a parent. I think it's important that people take that time. If you are married, take that baby moon time for you all to connect. You're already not going to be able to have sex for damn near 2 months. On top of that, you're going to be having a lot of sleepless nights. This is time for you to go on vacation, just relax, settle yourself, just calm down, have some peace. Yes, you're very excited. Yes, you're over the moon about having a baby, but also it's a time to bring back perspective and to also bring love and care, and to also just realize that, you know, even though we're having a baby, our relationship is important to us as well, and we should take some time for each other, whether that's for intimacy, whether that's just for us to relax, just to get away from the hecticness that we've been dealing with for the past 9 months, and to just get away. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a baby moon. Now, a gender reveal, me personally, yeah, gender reveals are cool. You see the whole thing. You see, like, some people have even done, like, roller coasters that light up to either a pink or a blue, like people do it at amusement parks and all that stuff. And I mean, I could do without a gender reveal. I personally like to know the gender of a baby when it gets here. It's a beautiful surprise. Like, that's a great gender reveal to me. But, I mean, you have the gender reveal, you have the baby shower, and then you have, like, it's a lot of events. And sometimes I feel like there is this culture, we do have this baby mama culture. So I feel like sometimes people do have these events because there's like no marriage. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes just to make themselves feel better, okay, we're having these events, this is an exciting time. So sometimes that's what it is. I feel like that because we have such a huge baby mama culture in America. And obviously, it's not just with black women. I mean, it's all across the spectrum. So I feel like that is why there are so many baby events, because it's kind of like a way of supporting the mom, but also kind of making her feel like, okay, look, yes, maybe you had a baby with somebody who's not sticking around, or maybe the father's not around, or maybe it's a boyfriend-girlfriend situation, or wherever the case may be. But let's make this exciting. I mean, like, even with sometimes with the with black culture, sometimes we do these really huge events for prom for high school, because some people know that their child's not going to go to college. So this is the only big event. Like,
that's not in black culture. That's American culture.
No, American culture. Yeah.
American culture. Yeah. They do the huge.
But that's not everybody, obviously.
No, that's American culture, because a lot of times, you know, of course, I was a foreigner before I went to America, right? So, and I know that's something that among the foreigners will be like, well, why do they make such a big deal? The child is just graduating from secondary school. Like, you know, you would think that they'll do that after the child gets their bachelor's or their master's degree. But that's because after that, you know, sometimes people are not going to college.
Yeah, so you have that big event.
So this is a big event where I get to see my child with their graduation cap and all of that stuff. And then the other thing too, in America, 18 years of age, that's like the child is an adult, so the child can go do whatever they want to do.
But you still have to be on your parents' insurance till you're 21, though. But they say you're an adult. So.
Well, you know.
But yeah.
And these days now, it seems as though they're putting the parents in jail if you do some crazy stuff. So, you know.
So say you're an adult, which not really an adult.
But
you know
can't discipline your child, though.
Yeah.
If you go spank that child,
don't lay hands on them.
Well, you better not. You better not. I mean, these days, I don't think there's any reason now. There's so many tools. You don't really need to spank a child, but
I think a baby moon is cool. I think a baby shower is
going back to the whole baby moon thing. I heard everything you said, Mary.
You have your opinion, I have mine. We can agree to disagree.
No,
Where's the handshake?
No, we can shake hands.
We can shake hands.
But can I say this? You were saying that this is a time for people to think and have some time together.
Well, to have time together is to just calm down.
Calm down.
You're doing the nesting.
You know when you should have done all of that? When you all got married. By the time you get pregnant, all that enjoyment or whatever it is you all think that you all need, all that should have been done before you all now started to have a baby.
I'm sorry,
okay?
but I feel like
all of
in
this
marriage
is so much.
No,
Like,
I feel like in marriage you can't just say, oh, before we have babies, because sometimes people wait till marriage, that man getting that woman pregnant that same night, so you don't even have a week of in marital bliss. Like, let's not act like
that's actually quite
like, especially if you waited till marriage, that man,
that's true.
It's gonna be a wrap in 2.2 seconds. That's my thing. Okay. And I feel like throughout marriage, you should have breaks.
These moments.
You should have these breaks. You should have these moments. I strongly believe in marriage that you should have at least one to two vacations at a minimum. Ideally,
a year.
Yeah, a year where it's just you and your spouse, no kids, just you and your spouse. That's what I feel.
Then when are you going to go to vacation with the children?
You go on vacation with the children twice a year, have 4 vacations a year. Obviously, the lifestyle I plan on living is very different than what people are thinking. But if you could at least go on vacation.
You have 2 vacations a year, one with the children.
And one with your spouse.
One with your spouse.
That's what I would say.
That's average.
Yeah, that's average. So that's what I'm saying. Obviously, I have a different mindset of how I see my life and where I want it to be. So that's why I said 4 times a year. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's it. I don't even know.
Get in the comments. Tell us what you think.
Marriage has to be worked on
the whole
constantly.
Baby thing and all the other stuff that we talked about, because I can't even remember what we started this talk about.
They should have stopped at 10 years. I don't know how we got off the train.
So you guys,
this is 20 minutes long.
Let us know